Lassiter Factor.
What's up, all my movie-loving maniacs? It's your boy Bankful B of the Lassiter Factor, and today I'm going to talk about Lee Cronin's The Mummy, which was released in theaters over the weekend. I went to the theater to go see it, so let's review. Lee Cronin's The Mummy is another Blumhouse-produced reimagining of another Universal monster, the first being The Invisible Man from 2020 and Wolfman from just last year. And now we have The Mummy, which is directed by Lee Cronin, in which, in his interpretation of The Mummy, we have this family that has a daughter that goes missing for 8 years, and when she is found in a sarcophagus and possessed by a mummy, and she wreaks havoc upon her family. Now, when I saw the trailer for this, I was curious enough to want to check it out, but I still remained cautiously optimistic because these reimaginings of Universal monsters produced by Blumhouse have been hit or miss. I did like The Invisible Man, and The Wolfman from last year was a little disappointed. But the premise of this movie I thought was interesting enough, and I do think it's a little funny how this movie is titled Lee Cronin's The Mummy, so it doesn't get confused with the Brandon Fraser movies. Now, how do I feel about this movie? Honestly, I think your enjoyment of this movie depends on how forgiving you are on how derivative this movie feels, because a lot of people have said that this movie feels like an Evil Dead movie, to which they're not wrong. It does feel like this is a script that started out as an Evil Dead movie, but then got converted into a Mummy movie that just feels like an Evil Dead movie. And if you feel some type of way about how derivative this movie feels, hey, I get you. But for me, I'm of the opinion that most movies these days can be described of the plot of this and the plot of that when splat with each other. And believe me, make no mistake, this does feel like an Evil Dead movie. Even I can tell you that. But I'm a little more forgiving of that because surprisingly I had a lot of fun with this, and at times more than the last two reimaginings of Universal Monster movies. Now granted, I do think production wise The Invisible Man is better, but for me, I just vibe with this movie a lot more. I just have fun with the journey that this movie took me on, and I am a little partial to watching women and children suffer. So just the journey of this family losing their child for 8 years, and they found her, but she's not the same child she was when they lost her, and so the two parents are just trying to figure out what the hell is going on with their daughter and trying to save her. I should also note that Lee Cronin, he did direct the last Evil Dead movie, Evil Dead Rise, hence why this movie does feel like an Evil Dead script. But regardless of that, I did enjoy the filmmaking within this movie. And I like the ending of this movie too, because the person that did all this to this child and the family, she does get her comeuppance, but I'm not going to spoil too much about that. I was just surprised at the fact of, oh, they actually ended a horror movie on a satisfying note. If I had any gripes about this movie, is just that some characters just didn't seem urgent enough, and they made some decisions that didn't really make sense. And like, spoiler alert, like the person that did kidnap the daughter and her little brother, she tells her father that this person has been giving her candy at the garden at the end of the street, to which, and he just walks out there nonchalantly, just walking out there with no sense of urgency. I'm like, if I found out that a stranger has been giving candy to my child, my first instinct is to haul ass out there and try to catch this person. Regardless of how you feel about this movie, that's completely up to you. But for me, I just vibed with this movie. I enjoyed the journey that this movie took me on. And let's be honest, it's still a better movie than that Tom Cruise Mummy movie from 9 years ago. I'm going to give Lee Cronin's The Mummy the thumbs up emoji. Thank y'all so much for watching. Have you seen Lee Cronin's The Mummy? If so, let me know what you think in the comment section below. This is your boy Bankful B of the Lassiter Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands, peace.